welcome. So I've made this video as a all levels Hatha yoga class, suitable for everyone, mainly floor seated stuff with some functional stretches. I hope you enjoy. So let's begin with some very brief mindfulness and grounding. So sit yourself comfortably either on your mat or a block, or I'm sitting on a small wooden stool, whatever is comfortable for you. The legs can be crossed or out in front of you, whatever feels best. So let's just take a few slow deep breaths here and close the eyes down or just look down towards the lap. Lift yourself up nice and tall, so really elongate through the spine, rolling the shoulders back. You might tuck the chin towards the chest. And then just take a few nice slow deep breaths there. Allowing yourself just a moment just to tune in with the body, notice how you feel. Check in with the breath. Relaxing and softening through the face, the shoulders, the arms, the legs. One last full breath there. And then gently lift the head, opening the eyes, and then let's begin. So stay right where you are, and we're going to start from the top down, so neck rolling. So taking a breath in and then just taking a look over towards the side there, gently back through the centre and over to the other side. And then just nice and smooth, exploring the range of motion that you have in the neck. One more each side there. And then back to the centre. And then in the other direction, lifting the head, look up towards the ceiling, lifting the chin. And then tucking the chin down to the chest, lengthening the back of the neck. Breathing in to lift the head. Breathing out, back down. And just a couple more there. And then back to the centre, and then let's come to some semicircles. So just take the chin over towards one shoulder, circling all the way over to the other side, and then back again. And just move through that a couple of times, noticing if there's any bits that feel a little bit stiff or sore. One more each side there. And then back to the centre there, really nice. And then let's come to some shoulder rolls, so coming forward, up and all the way back. That's it. Exploring again the range of motion you have there, this time in the shoulders. Squeezing the shoulders all the way up to the ears, rolling them all the way back, all the way down. One last one there. And then release, and then let's come into some side bending movements. So taking a reach over to one side there. And then over to the other side. That's it, and then a couple more each side like that. And you can choose if you want the flowing movement, nicer in the mornings for a little bit more mobility. Or if it's the evening, holding the posture a little bit longer can feel nice, just to linger here, pausing, opening the chest, maybe looking up, keeping everything nice and open, keeping the breathing steady. And then over to the other side, just to pause for a few breaths there. Feel the opening into the ribs all along the side body. And then coming back up, and then let's take a spine twist, just a simple seated twist, so opposite hand to the knee, one behind. Lift up tall and then look back over the shoulder. That's it, just pausing for a couple of breaths, one each side. And then back to the centre there. I'm just going to remove the seat to give me a little bit more space. So coming over onto all fours, and then let's start to get the spine a little bit warmed up. So coming onto that quadruped position, you want the hands just under the shoulders and the knees are just under the hips there, and then cat and cow just flowing through with the breath. So as you take a breath in, just start to lift the head and arch the spine, rolling the tailbone up. And then the cat, as you round like a cat, drop the head, tuck the tailbone under this time. And then just move through, flowing with the breath. Noticing again how the back feels, the parts of the spine that move a little bit more freely perhaps than others. I wasn't counting, but maybe about 5 of each. And then come to a neutral spine there in the middle. And then let's come to our thread the needle. So this is just going to open up through the back of the shoulders. So the right arm comes up, stretch up, reach up. And then as you breathe out, just thread under. And then we open back up again. Let's do that again, threading under. And then open up. And then this time, thread all the way through, and we stay there, just holding for a couple of breaths, letting the shoulder, the side of the head come all the way down towards the mat there. Pressing the left hand into the mat to deepen the twist. And then come back up. Same on the other side. Take a breath in as you open up, reach up. Come and thread through, reaching through, opening up again. And thread. Inhale to lift. And then come all the way down as we did before. Shoulder side of the head comes all the way down. And then just press the hand away to increase the stretch. And then come back up. Quick little reset there. Maybe a cat and a cow or a wiggle, whatever feels good. And then a child's pose from here. So sit the bottom back over the heels, the big toes just touching each other, and then stretch the arms out in front of you, reaching to the end of the mat. Drop the head, drop the chest. Relaxing the breathing. And then we come back up from there. So bring the hands back under the shoulders there. Bring the knees back together again. And then this time we tuck the toes, we push back. Let's find that first downward facing dog. You could go a little bit longer with the stance if that feels better. Spreading the feet about hip width, hands about shoulder width apart. And you're just pressing back with the upper body, the hands pressing the mat away. Have a little pedal of the feet, warming up the back of the legs. Finding that length through the spine, and that might mean that putting that soft bend into the knees there. Taking another breath there. Lengthening if that feels good. And then let's come forward into that high plank position from there. You might need to just step the feet back a little bit. That's it. And then staying nice and strong in the upper body. Stay quite lifted and rounded in the shoulders. And then push back to find downward dog. Press the heels back. And flow through that just a few times. Breathing in, come forward to plank. Wrapping the core nice and tight. Push back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhaling. And exhale. Take a breath there. And then from here, let's just start to walk the hands backwards till you get closer towards the feet. Let the heels drop down to the mat, soften the knees. And then we just hang here in a soft forward fold. You could take the elbows, have a little bend in the knees and just move. Rocking from side to side if that feels good. Allow upper body to become heavy. Shoulders and head come forward. Release the neck. Release everything. Feel maybe a release in the lower back. And just give yourself as long as you like here. Just to allow any of that tension to release. And then release the elbows. I'm going to come up to standing from here, so just a nice slow roll up. I'm just going to walk back to the centre of the mat, and I'll just do I'll go through a couple of rounds of this is the half sun salutation, and this is just a really nice way to warm up the whole of the body. So one breath, one move, and just let it flow. So feet together, breathing in, let's reach up, palms together. Breathing out, folding all the way down. Breathing in, just a halfway lift, so you could rest the hands on the shins as you lengthen the back. Let the chest pull forward and the shoulders roll back. Breathing out, we come back down. Soften the knees, breathe in, let's circle the arms and reach all the way up. And then back out as you come back down to the centre. Again, breathing in, reach up, circle the arms. Breathe out, we come down. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, back down. Breathe in, circle the arms, rise up, push the palms together. And then back down the centre. Again, breathing in. Breathe out, come down. Breathe in, half lift, head up. Breathe out. Breathe in, circle the arms, reach up. And then back down the centre. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out, coming down. Breathe in, half lift, flat back. Breathe out, soften. Breathe in, maybe bend the knees as you circle the arms and reach all the way up. And then breathe back out, back to the heart centre. And then let's come to a forward fold from here, so just a little bit of standing. So you're going to bring the feet to hip width apart for this, which is around here. And then just start to come down. If you can reach the toes, good for you. Go for the toes, but you don't need to. The shins is fine. Take a lift and then just come down. That's it. Fold in. You want the chest and the belly over the thighs. And as before, it's always okay to bend the knees. More important that you're lengthening through the back. And if you have the toes, you can wrap the fingers around the big toe and pull yourself further forward. Let's just take one more breath there. And then let's bring the hands behind the back and interlace. So just clasping the hands. Maybe a little bend in the knees still, and then just start to open the chest there, so you're pulling the knuckles up towards the ceiling. And any other movement you like here, you could come to a twist, bend one knee as you open to the side, and then back, and then say to the other side. And then coming back. And then release from there. And then from here, we just come all the way back down to the mat again. And then lower yourself down. So I've just changed the order of things that I wrote in the notes for you, just because it flows a little bit better by coming straight down onto the belly, to coming into the spine extensions from here. So coming all the way down, you want the feet just spread about hip width apart, and the hands are down by the sides, or you could come a little bit wider. And then let's come into those cobra lifts from here. So just quite simply with the hands pressing, take a breath in and then start to lift and lower, lift and lower. A little squeeze through the glutes, keeping the legs and the hips down. Don't need to lift the head, keep looking down. And just a couple more like this, and this is just to activate the muscles in the back before we stretch any further. One more like that. And then release. You take a quick little breather if you want to. Have a little rock from side to side. And then we could come up and do some more. This is more of a Pilates move, to be honest, but I think it will work for you. So we could come back into those spine extensions, but this time, as you lift, I'm going to shuffle a little bit further. You could lift one leg and lower, and lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Moving in and out of those, alternating legs. And then release back down. You can do as many rounds as you want with that. Take a quick little break. And then you could even turn this into the swimming exercise, where we lift alternate arms and legs. and then eventually turn that into your full Superman hold. I haven't got space, but lifting the whole body there, the arms, the legs, and keeping the breath as steady as you can. Keeping the legs straight so there's no bend in the knees and you're just pointing the toes. Think about coming backwards rather than up. Same with the arms. You're lifting, but you're not worrying about how high, you're just trying to get that lift. And then lower back down. Another variation I'll just show you here would be the locust, where we interlace behind the back and then take a breath in, open the shoulders, pull them back, pull the elbows back and lift. And then just breathe it out, taking about 5 breaths there. And then lowering all the way down. Again, you might just want a quick little break to recover there. And then as far as a more restorative posture would go, one that you could maybe hold a bit longer when you've got a bit more time. You have the feet together for this one, and this is Sphinx. So the elbow is just directly under the shoulder. Forearms just parallel to each other, hands flat. Rest of the lower body down, the hips pressing into the mat, and then just start to lift the chest, spreading across the collarbones so you're not collapsing in the front of the shoulders there. Just looking slightly down and taking a couple of breaths there. And then on a day where you feel like you want a little bit more out of this one, you could lift the elbows away and start to press back. Spread across the collarbones, widening across the front. Press the pubic bone down and maybe take the hands a little bit wider. And then just hold for about maybe 5 breaths. And then lower it back down. And then just take a little break from there. Maybe a little sway of the feet. Okay, and then from here, coming up back onto all fours, just a quick cat stretch which will just help to recover from the back bending. And then come to a sitting position. You could use a block or a cushion if it helps make sitting a bit more comfortable for you, but I think you were okay here. And then all we're going to do is come into the seated forward fold to begin. So just come to the side so you can see better. Legs out in front, knees are soft. Little activation in the feet so the toes can point upwards. And then take that rounding out to the back, lift yourself up nice and tall, take a reach up. Breath in, and then as you breathe out, that's when you fold forward. You might be reaching for the toes, you might be just here somewhere along the shins. Maybe take another breath in there, find some more length through the spine, and then fold yourself forward. Relax the shoulders. If they're pulling forward, just send them back. And then just be here and just breathe. These poses tend to be a little bit more relaxing now with the forward folding. Spend as long as you like, but I find anywhere between 5 and 10 breaths is enough. Lifting the head back up, straight into half butterfly or head to knee. So I always start with the right leg, but whatever you like. Bringing the foot right into the inner thigh there, as high up as you can get it. Knee just allowed to roll out to the side. And again, find that height and that length through the spine. And then fold yourself forward. You might be wrapping the hands around the foot. It might be the shin, wherever you are, it doesn't matter. And then, as the name suggests with this one, head to knee pose. You just come down. without fuss. And just breathe and just allow your body a bit of time and space just to relax. And then gently lift the head back up. Same on the other side. Bring the other foot in, bring it as high into the inner thigh as you can, the sole of the foot pressing in. Lift yourself up and then fold forward. And you just, if you're wrapping the hands around the foot, go for it, or grab the ankle, wherever you are. And then lifting back up to come back out. I'll turn to face, and we're coming into the butterfly or bound angle. So, very familiar pose, I'm sure. Soles of the feet come together this time. You can have the heels close in, or you can move them a little bit further away into more of a diamond shape, whatever feels best for you. And whatever you want on any given day, so you can move. If you need movement, it helps with mobility. Or if you prefer to relax, then just let the knees roll out to the side. If you have tightness here in the abductors, the inner thighs, a little squeeze through the glutes can sometimes help just to relieve anything there. Lift yourself up tall, and you're either going to stay there or fold yourself forward, holding onto the feet. Again, relax the shoulders, you can send them back, they don't need to come forward. Breathe deeply and softly, and just give the body a chance to relax. And then bring yourself all the way back up. Wide-legged fold from here if you've got space. So take the feet or the legs wide, toes pointing up, and just as before, get some length through the spine. And then if you want the mobility or moving variation, the stir the pot would be with the hands clasped together, reaching towards one foot and then to the other and coming back. And just reaching all the way forward, big range of motion there. Using the core to stabilise. You're moving through the shoulders. And then taking it back the other way, so maybe about 3 to 5 rotations each side. And then if you want to come into the stillness, just bring the hands in front and just move forward however you want to. Take a couple of breaths. You might not get where you want in the first couple of breaths, so just give yourself a chance to relax, let the muscles settle. And then you might find just after maybe the first 30 seconds or so, things relax a little bit more, and then you can come as far forward as you like. It's easy to overstretch here, so just know where your edge is and not to cross it. That's the key, just finding the right balance so that the practice is sustainable daily without injury. And then come back up. And then just to recover from this one, because that's a lot of rotation outwards through the hips, bring the legs back in, and then just those with the feet wide, windshield wiper movements, rolling the knees inwards. Really nice internal rotation to help. All right, and then because I've already done the front lying stuff, I know that your notes are in a different order. From here, let's come down onto the back And then these are just like some really nice relaxing ones that are really valuable to get deep into the hamstrings, the hips. So your leg extension for the hamstrings, if your hamstrings are ready for it. You can have this left leg bent or straight, it's up to you. And then support the leg, maybe the back of the thigh, the calf, maybe the toe. And then you want to see if you can keep this left leg nice and grounded. I sometimes press the hand on there. If you want a little bit more from this, you could sometimes use a belt or a strap around this foot, or you could even start to bring the head towards the shin there. And then release from there. And then we'll come into the reclined pigeon from there. So folding the other knee over, cross the ankle over the knee. You might be staying there. You could extend the arms out, and for mobility you could roll the foot and the knee from side to side, which can feel really nice. Or if all feels good there, you could bring the left thigh in towards you, wrap the hands around the thigh or the knee, and then maybe draw the head up towards the left knee. And just squeeze everything in, just till you feel enough in that right hip. And then lower everything back down. And then we come into the reclined twist from there. So just cross the leg all the way over and then drop the knees to the left. And then maybe turn the head to the right, and you want to get that opposite shoulder, which for me is the right, pinned down to the mat, and that will keep the twist in the spine. And on a day where you've got more time, this is a really nice pose to maybe stay a little bit longer, but that'll do for today. And then let's come same onto the other side. Extending the left leg up, or the other leg, and just supporting that leg again wherever you want to. This is another place where it's easy to overstretch, so especially if your hamstrings are already tight, you could move the foot or the ankle just to stimulate the muscle in the calf. And take some nice slow deep breaths. So on the exhale is when you can draw the leg in a little bit closer. And if the head's lifted, bring it down, and then let's come into that figure four or reclined pigeon on the other side. And again, option to bring the other leg in. Keep the left foot nice and flexed, so the toes back towards the shin, protecting the knee. And then release. I'm sorry, I forgot the swaying bit, but you'll get there with those. And then from here, as before, just cross the leg over, extend the arms out, and then just drop the knees over to the right this time, just in the upper back. So you want that opposite shoulder, which is now the left shoulder, down onto the mat, head turning. And just stay a similar time to what you did on the other side, and then come back out. Give the knees a little hug in, just help with any recovery, or a little rock from side to side. Maybe the head comes up to the knees. And then just two more to finish. So bridge, this is really nice for the spine. Bring the feet nice and close in towards the buttocks there. You might just be able to graze the heels with the fingertips there. And then peel the spine away from the mat. Go as high as you want. Hands could maybe interlace underneath if you can reach, and that just helps to further open the shoulders. And my hands are pressing into the mat. I've got the little fingers just pushing into the mat. The feet are pressing, the heels are nice and firm. And you'll feel the front of the thighs, the quads opening and pushing. And then to come out, just release the hands, maybe come up onto the heels, roll the spine in sequence all the way back down into the mat. And give yourself a little hug in. Sometimes quite nice to repeat that posture a couple of times as well if you've got more time. And then I'm just going to shuffle myself down. Happy baby. I know, a silly pose, but it's just really nice. So soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. You can hold on to the back of the thighs, relax the head. Sometimes a little head cushion is quite nice. And then just gently pull down. So you want to feel this into the groin. And then just a little sway from side to side if that feels nice, or just find stillness. If you need more, you can extend the legs, bring the feet wider, whatever feels good. And then to finish, just hug everything in. And then release. And then this is where you'll probably just switch off, especially if you're dashing off to work or whatever else you've got on for your day. But I highly recommend just spending a couple minutes here. You could be in this constructive rest position. You could maybe just have a hand on the chest and the belly and shut the eyes and just breathe. Maybe count the breath, count 20, 30 breaths. Or even come all the way down into your corpse pose, Shavasana. Put something over the eyes if it's night, if it's daytime, block the light out. And I promise it's worth it just to sit here or lie here and just hit pause just for 1 to 2 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes if you have time. And then come out in a bit, have a little stretch up, bring the knees in, and then I like to roll over onto one side to bring myself back up. So I hope you stuck with it. I hope it all made sense and you enjoy it. Thank you for joining me. Well done for your practice and enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.